Welcome back to an episode of Keeping Austin Queered. My name is Sky, and this is a podcast where we connect through colorful conversations. And today, I have a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Becky Torres. She owns and operates an aesthetic boutique med spa in the heart of downtown Buda, Texas here. So Buda is basically Austin's backyard, if not like right next to it, because it's only 15 minutes from my house. So, which is, 15 minutes away. So we're keeping Buda is the U. I'm saying Buda.
Yeah.
Let's keep Buda weird today. So
let's keep Buda 15 minutes from queered.
There you go. So welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So it's obviously, I know you were excited to come on, slightly nervous, but there's no reason to be.
Yeah, this is something new for me and exciting, and I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So let's give them a little bit of a background of how we met. I was thinking about this, but I have an idea, but I wanted to see what you were going to say.
I'm thinking it's 9 years ago. That's what I'm thinking, because we moved to Buda about 9 years ago. I was working in the Mueller area, close to downtown Austin. And I think I met you at a business that I was working at the time.
Yep.
And this is like grown into this long relationship and friendship, and it's exciting.
Yeah. And you were at my wedding with your husband, and you showed up stunning, looking amazing, and your husband in a tuxedo. I think I sat you at like my family's table and very close friends of mine. So again, it's been one of the, if not one of the very few longer friends that I've had in Austin. So again, you mean the world to me. I mean, of course,
You mean the world to me.
There's no one else that you trust more than someone with your face. Am I right?
100%.
So I mean,
It's very intimate.
Very
when
intimate.
You think about that.
Yeah. I had you definitely on my list, of course, at my wedding, which you showed up for. And then I guess my other long friend, Brandy, who cuts my hair. And she wasn't able to make it because she had some cheer thing with her girls. But yeah, she was, you guys, they cut your hair. They're in your hair. They're in your face.
These are intimate relationships that we build over time with people that, we trust with a lot of things.
Right. And so I just thought that, I wanted to bring you on so we could highlight you and highlight your business and just have the audience, get to know you a little bit better as much as I do.
So glad
and then
to be
you
here.
can tell all the fun things you do and have them come visit you out in Buda.
I would love that.
So, all right. So before we do that, of course, it's Keeping Austin Queered. So how do you identify?
I identify as she.
She. Okay. And your sexual orientation?
Male.
There you go. All right. Now, for our Keeping Austin Queered listeners, as you know, we play a quick get to know you round of questions. And today I have the Never Have I Ever deck.
Okay.
And then I have the Deep and Deeper. So deep is obviously you go deep in a question, you can go deeper in a question of getting to know you. And typically we do a 3-card pull.
Okay.
So what would you like to go with first?
I guess the first one.
The Never Have I Ever?
Never have I ever.
Okay. Well, obviously this would be, I would assume so, since you have kids. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I don't think so. I read that wrong. Never have I ever had to take a paternity test.
Never.
Never. Same. Okay. Deep or deeper?
I guess deep.
Let's go deep. Here's a deep card. Who taught you how to cook or bake?
My mom.
Okay. Give me some of the things you remember baking or cooking.
My mom was always in the kitchen.
Okay.
She was a homemaker, if we still have that word in the vocabulary these days. I don't even know if that exists. But,
I don't think so.
She was lucky enough to stay home with us when we were growing up and be there when we were growing up, and didn't go to work until we were all out of school already. But she was in the kitchen, cooking, baking. Food is her love language. And
Same.
so she, was always making something yummy and delicious and taught us pretty much everything. So, yeah.
Okay. And then for our deeper question, how important is it that you surround yourself with people who have the same political views as you?
pretty important. I do have people around me that have different views, but I feel like it's really hard to get as close to them in deep conversation, just depending on the circumstances and the situation. But I feel like it's harder when they don't have the same political views to get close to them as, a friendship.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I think that has happened more recently. That wasn't really, for me, that really wasn't a thing until it got a little shifty, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, of course, I have all types of friends, to be honest with you, but I have found that for the exact same thing that you said, that it's just a little bit harder to connect, or if you connect at all in some ways.
Right.
And it's just, there's such a at this point, there's such a larger line in the sand on a variety of topics that it just kind of ultimately shows, it leans into character,
Yeah,
So,
it's hard.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for participating on those games. Now let's get into story time so we can kind of, again, hear who you are and in everything that you do. So where did you grow up? Are you a Texan girl?
I am. I'm a unicorn.
You're a unicorn. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've been in Austin my whole life. I was born in Germany, but I was a baby when I arrived here. So I consider myself an Austinite.
Wow. I think you might have mentioned that to me.
I came across as a baby when I was not even 2.
What part of Austin did you grow up in?
South Austin, not far from here. Yeah, not far from here.
Wow.
OG.
Okay, you are an OG. Let's give that air horns of that. Wow. Okay, you are a unicorn. Now, how long have you? So your own time. And now, were you more Buda, Austin Buda, or you said you moved out to Buda 9 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grew up in South Austin. Moved to East Austin, and that's where I raised my family, my 2 boys, right off of Holly Street, downtown. Wow. Yeah. Close to Rainey. So we were there for 25 years.
Wow.
And so then left and moved to Buda 9 years ago.
Okay. And what made you move to Buda?
Just the growth, I feel like if I had to describe us, we were the first millennials.
Okay.
So we were the millennials before the millennials. And the people that moved into, the east side and everything, I think, just kind of younger crowd. It wasn't an old neighborhood anymore. We thought it was time to go, and maybe, we had our run. We did our time there, and we were young people raising a family, but we just wanted something a little bit more quiet after we became empty nesters.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Many of the reasons that I've made choices on leaving or moving to certain areas myself. So I totally get it. Now, can you tell everybody, I obviously gave you that intro, and I read that on your post because you did the Buda Commerce. You had
the Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. So tell me about, what you do in your business a little bit. Introduce us to that.
Okay. So
industry-wise.
So Siren Beauty and Wellness. I have been in this industry for over a decade, and it's always been in med spas or dermatology offices or something of that, realm, fancy spas like the W, different places like that. But the beauty industry is a little hard. When it comes to vanity and things like that, I felt like I wanted something more. So bringing beauty and wellness together where we're not just focused on beauty and external beauty and how we look, but more also kind of just merging the two together. Wellness. I mean, we're all kind of on that brink right now where everybody's tapping into wellness, feel good from the inside and out. And, I wanted to just bring something more and decided that I wanted to do the two. So having events and bringing community together and things like that every month kind of helps bridge that gap where I feel like in this industry, we're kind of lacking. Yeah.
And not just about, like you said, the outside, working on it from inside out and in community, which we'll get into. So what attracted you initially to this industry?
So I've always been attracted to anything that had to do
pretty,
with
anything pretty.
So,
right.
Self-care.
Right.
Self-care, wanting to take care of yourself, feeling good, looking good. But also technology kind of sparked an interest because when I got into it, we were also changing into, machines. doing a lot of medical treatments that are anti-aging.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I really want to be a part of that. Like lasers, anti-aging, all these things that we can do with technology to make us look younger and feel younger. I just wanted to be a part of that. And I thought that that was like a good industry that, you know, I feel like it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, so I've been a client of yours for quite some time and I think I've tried a whole lot of different things. And I've kind of followed you throughout your journey, honestly.
You have.
From 1, 2, 3.
Several
different places. And I think it was just, again, I trusted in you. I loved the way that you did things and just obviously the conversation, the customer service, and just the variety and the, hey, what about this or what about that? And the kind of introduction to those new things. So, it's, you know, when you trust someone, you got to keep going, you know, and trust with them. So, and not overdoing it in a way. I loved your approach to that. Now, how has the industry changed from when you started to where it's at now? So obviously, you know, people are doing, Botox, Dysport, where that's kind of all, like, if you're not doing that at that point, sometimes I just feel like, what are you doing? You know?
Sure.
So it's like, and then the lip fillers and all that sort of stuff. Where was that then? And then where we're at now?
I think where we were then, like I said, I've been doing this over a decade, was in excess. It was more. Everybody wanted more. And it became almost like an ugly addiction.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I saw some bad work. We all did.
Yep.
The limelight, the stars, everywhere. So, you know, I feel like
testing it out.
Yeah, I feel like the industry really got a bad rap because some of these things that we do are great, right? In moderation. Just like everything. Like, you know, all the
diet,
things that we do.
Exercise,
everything
TV,
in moderation.
Work. Yeah.
But when we have all of these things in excess, then, you know, things start to get a little out of control. It can become addictive. People can become addictive to these treatments.
I mean, who doesn't want to look, you know, the fountain of youth, and they turn to these med spas to say, what can you do to make me look like this person, you know?
And that's where I kind of had to take a step back and be like, these don't align with my values. I like to be ethical and I like to give people what I think is a moderate amount for them or is enough for them. And, you know, this natural looking approach, I think, is where we're headed to now in the future, where, you know, you can look amazing and you can have all these treatments, but it doesn't have to be overdone and you can look just like you.
Right. And again, it just popped into my head, like, where we've all watched Botched and we've all watched all those, you know, and had the celebrities do it and, you know, whatever. And then now we see like the Lindsay Lohan look.
Amazing.
And then the Kris Jenner.
Amazing.
Right? So it's just like, how do we do that?
Yeah, I want what they're having. I want what they're having.
Can we do that, please? But that just really explains it perfectly. And honestly, too, as a customer, you did that with me. And I was just like, and I seen that with obviously patients and your Instagram and all that sort of stuff. And I think that just is really important. And because you're not looking at people like a transaction or like a dollar symbol, and you're doing it for their best interest and having them, retaining them as a customer, but for the right reasons.
Right. Patient over profit.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned this is not just a typical med spa. It's a wellness center as well, which I've been to a handful of your events and I love them. When you said this, I was like, oh my gosh, people want community. Not only do you want to feel good, but you want to, you know, again, from the inside out and have that community. I think I was part of a yoga
sound bath,
and I love that stuff. And so you have a beautiful, beautiful space.
Thank you.
To host that. So tell me a little bit more about what you see, you know, what you've done event wise, and where do you kind of see that growing?
Yeah. So every month since we have been open, we opened in October, I have tried to just get with other community members, local people who had other businesses, include them, highlight
collaboration,
collaborate, and just have them. And most of these events have, you know, they have been free. And we've had nutritionists, breathworking event, all types of things like eating for your hormones. You know, now we're talking about too, like perimenopause. It's a big deal right now. So,
and the microdosing and the NAD.
Yeah, all the things. So yeah, just bringing people in the community or even outside the community. We have Austin people that come in too. We're not like excluding anyone. And we're not excluding males either. Like It's not just for women. Like there's lots of males who love to do these things and they're always welcome. Everyone is welcome at Siren. And that's the other thing. We include everyone and we just
LGBTQ plus,
all of it, all the things. And so we love having these events and just welcoming anybody who wants to come. But yeah, we're trying to keep the ball rolling. I took a little bit of time off in the summer, didn't have any events, but we actually have an event tomorrow. And I'm not religious as far as like I don't belong to a church. I'm very spiritual.
Same.
And so, but also don't judge anyone for any other religions or anything that anybody wants to follow. But I have a patient who is also a very dear friend and she's a reverend. She's an ordained minister and she's kind of progressive and I love her for that because we have conversations and talk about anything and everything. And she's hosting this event tomorrow with us.
Oh, that's
cool.
So,
yeah, it's just, things have been a little heavy recently with just everything that's going on in the world. And just for anyone who just wants to come have coffee with us, have breakfast. I'm getting breakfast tacos and pastries, and we're just going to hang out and just talk about everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, I've been to a handful of your events, and the first one I was definitely nervous about because, guys show up and, at that when I went to it was more female, but it's like, honestly, it refueled my soul in a sense because, the world is rough and, although we look pretty, you still have some things going on internally and mentally. And you kind of like, I walked away from that sound bath. I think that was my first sound bath or something. Nice. Yeah. And obviously met a very good friend of ours named Snowy, who's been on the podcast.
Love her.
And just really got to connect as not anything other than human beings.
Exactly.
And that was always the way I feel about entering your space. I'm not gay, I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm just another human that you care about in creating that community. So I will say your events are top notch. And there is not a detailed that is not missed. And you guys definitely have to check it out for sure. But yeah, I appreciate those because it does so much more for you than you think.
Thank you.
And then the community itself and just introducing to people. I always say, get out, get up, get out. You never know who your next friend is, your next coworker, your next, lover or anything, when you're out there interacting in the wild.
I know, in the wild.
Which is rare these days, right? All right. Now for your design of your lovely business,
okay.
I'm obsessed. I had to bring my husband, Jason, and say, babe, come check this out because he's all about design. And wow, it's gorgeous. It's literally gorgeous. The bathrooms, the detail, everything like that. So where was your inspiration for that and the name and how did you put your touch on everything? And was it just you?
It was. And I have been obsessed with mermaids forever. They're like mystical beings. They're beautiful, goddess-like creatures.
Yeah.
Like I've always been obsessed with them and love them. And so just kind of started collecting them at a young age and just love the ocean, love the water. I'm a water sign, probably why. And when I decided that I was going to do the business, I just thought that would have been a weird name, right? So I'm like, well, Siren. Let's call it that. Siren, mermaid. I know they're two different things, but
are they?
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. I think a siren is different than a mermaid, but still the same beautiful creature. We're all creatures, right?
Right.
Creatures on this earth.
Yeah.
Trying to find our way.
Uh-huh.
And as far as like the decor and the design and all that, I had probably a lot of bottled up things that needed to just kind of come out.
Wow.
And so I felt uncreative and kind of stagnant for a little bit.
Okay.
Leading up to me opening the business.
And you just threw it all up.
It just came out. And so I just kind of went with it.
Did you have a Pinterest board or anything?
I mean,
or
I
you
did.
Just kind
I
of
made a Pinterest board, but it just started happening. Like the juices just started flowing. Yeah. And before I knew it, I had come up with palette and colors and design and just bringing things together. The beautiful home where the business is used to be an antique store.
Okay.
And so I did keep a few things that were in the antique store that kind of also sparked a little bit of the design ideas for it. So there's a kind of a little bit of, I don't know, romantic vintage.
Yeah. I would say it's I don't know. It's like, it just feels good. It's warm. I love the colors, the gold, the like.
I wanted it to be serene
Yeah.
and peaceful.
Peaceful.
And just feel like you're home.
Smells good.
Home. I wanted you to feel home.
Yeah.
When you come in, you can take your shoes off. You can cross your legs, sit down. We can sit on the floor and talk, like whatever.
Yeah. You have a little space. It's not too big. It's definitely not too small. And you have like a shop, like a little shop area.
Well, the little boutique area that's in the reception area. Everything in there, I have kind of curated and made sure that I had women-owned, gives back, eco-friendly, some vegan.
Oh, so there's purpose and thought behind that.
On Amazon.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm working on something exciting too that I got like a little light bulb moment when I was in Mexico.
Okay.
So,
well, I'll have to come by and see what that is. But you obviously have beverages and products, like obviously skincare products as well.
Clean skincare.
Love. And then my favorite part that I'm honestly always excited to, when I'm always there and excited to leave, is not only just by hanging out with your company and obviously getting nice treatments, but the takeaway, the little takeaway. So you pull there's a thing by the door and it looks like a golden seashell.
Yeah. Well,
how did you come up with that?
So
explain it.
I know, it just kind of all happened. I found that on Etsy.
Okay.
And it came from Australia. And I was raised Catholic. And that seashell, that brass seashell, reminds me of when we used to go into church, there would be these ornate looking fixtures that held the holy water.
Okay.
And we would, I don't know.
No, I don't.
So when you're Catholic, you walk into the church, you dip your hand into the holy water.
Okay.
And you do the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that seashell reminded me of that. I was like, that's just beautiful. I love it. I love the significance of it. So I don't know if that seashell was for that purpose, but it came.
Okay.
And I was like, what am I going to put in there? Obviously, I'm not going to put water in there, but I wanted to put something there that you could take on your way out the door. We're done with their treatment. We've done our service, something for you to take. Well, the owner of the business had these beautiful quote cards in her business that on my way home, sometimes I would stop by and pick them and put them in birthday cards for people. So I would sift through hundreds of these quote cards.
Wow.
Looking through them. And I was like, you know what? This is a nice quote I'm going to give this person. So when I took over the business and she moved out, I bought all of her quote cards. And I stuck them in the seashell and thought, you know what? I'm just going to let people take those on their way out. I have since bought like 3 rounds of those cards. Because
everybody takes it and loves it.
Yeah, because we've gone through them. But
you can see on my wall,
loves them.
I have 1, 2,
They're
3,
all different
4.
from different authors, different people, and they're so meaningful. And every time somebody picks one, it resonates.
Yep. I've literally they're posted on my wall. So I love that part.
Yeah.
And so thoughtful, and another way, a little momentum to remember and a way to give back, for saying thank you for, being a part of my experience, which is nice. Now, what all services do you provide there?
So everything, aesthetic services would be, we have facials, we have microneedling. I just added some facial waxing. We have medical treatments like laser treatments, CO2 treatments, neurotoxins, your Botox. We've got Sculptra, which is a biostimulator, so it's not. I saw that on filler.
Your post.
Yeah, more people are really liking this because it just grows your own natural collagen, so it does look a lot more natural. If I had to guess, I think a lot of these celebrities and people that we're seeing are doing some of these more natural treatments like Sculptra.
Okay.
We do still do filler. What else? Just, any kind of treatment for the face. I don't do any body treatments. We're mostly face treatments, but self-care. I have a facial membership. So facial memberships are important. I've got a lot of members coming in every month just to reset, relax. It's your time. We spend a good time just, taking care of you, whatever you need.
Yeah. And that bed though, man, you could literally just fall into that and take a nap. I think I did my microneedling in that one, and it feels so good.
Yeah, it's cozy.
Yeah, very cozy space. So now you mentioned the membership program, so
Yeah.
that's fairly new. But so how does that work?
So I have 2 memberships, 2 different tiers. One of them, you get a facial every month. Kind of pays for itself.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get your neurotoxin at a discounted rate, 15% off of packages, 15% off of retail and skincare.
Wow.
And then the lower tier is pretty much just retail and skincare and facials every month.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you're doing like all the other things and the lasers and everything, you benefit from the higher membership. But yeah, I've got quite a few members now.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I was part of the membership at the previous place you worked, and I loved it. Honestly, like I was like, it makes sense if you're going to the gym for your body, right? Then you kind of want to have that for your face.
Exactly.
And I know it's obviously the gay guys, and we love the this and we love the that with the girls, but I will say the Botox has been very popular.
It has.
And I, saw even an ad recently in my urgent care clinic that I go to. I wouldn't go there for that by any means, and no shade on that. But that's very popular now with that. What have you seen? Have been seeing a lot more of?
Yeah,
the wives or girlfriends bringing in their husbands.
It's super cool because I have a lot of husband wives that come. Like people
date night or date.
Yeah, they come together and get all the things done, and it's nice. Even the memberships. Men are enjoying the facial memberships. There's gentleman's facial. Like it's self-care is important.
All right. Now, what would you say your most popular service that people are getting right now?
Most popular service is the CO2 cool peel laser treatment.
Okay.
It's a resurfacing treatment. Then my Sculptra. Okay. And then the Botox is always, that's never going to go away.
I know. I think you told me once, and I for some reason, I still say this to everyone. I've done a lot of things to my face, not in a bad way, but like, the cool pails and the this and the that and the lasers and the this, but I don't think 44.
No,
so
you look
there
amazing.
you go. There's that. But, I love the freaking microneedling. I don't know why, but that just works better for my skin. Texture-wise, everything I've done with you has been phenomenal. I always say, I was tired of what I loved about you and your services, and I think there were men that didn't really know much about it. We're going in for a facial and doing this and doing that and popping the pores and all that sort of stuff, which is good and great. Like I love the hydrofacial after a certain, time of services. But my thing was like, I can wash my face on my own. Like I don't need you to do bubbles and things like that. Like where you really need it to penetrate and work and do its thing to make a, pretty nice difference or a quicker, response are with these things that you said, you know what I mean? And that CO2 laser, it, doesn't hurt. It's quick. It's in, it's out. The technology, like you mentioned before, I feel like I've gone with that process has really elevated where there's not much of a downtime.
Yeah, that's where we're going. We don't want downtime. We just want to live our lives and get on with it.
I gotta go to Cabo. I gotta go on a date. I gotta go do this. I got an appearance. You know.
So I really also focus heavy on finding treatments that have very little downtime, very little pain. There's so many things that you can do out there in the industry, and so many machines and devices. A lot of them are painful. I like to choose things that don't have a lot of pain.
Yeah, I've seen that one. There was a housewife that basically got a burnt face because of some laser treatment or whatnot.
There's some scary treatments out there. So we're, I like to just, be as pain-free as possible, as natural as possible.
Yeah. And then now what, are there any services that you don't do or would stay away from besides, that leads into my next question, but besides that?
I'm always trying something new. And if it's something that I think is in line with my values and all of that. I'm always going to try new things. I'm always looking for cutting edge stuff, but currently not really, but
Yeah, I mean just did that what my last one was the microneedling
With the PDRN?
with the
salmon?
The salmon.
I like to say salmon DNA.
Salmon DNA. Is that I thought that's what it was said. Is that not what it is?
Well, the salmon DNA comes from the salmon sperm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so some people don't like to say that, but that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And apparently the salmon has close DNA to the human. So they're using that now and it's all the rage. I mean, I've heard all kinds of crazier things, but that's what's popular now. We're microneedling a lot with that and exosomes.
Okay. Yeah, I've done the exosomes.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, everything I've done, I love. So I wouldn't say I'm not an addict, but it's maybe close to it. Now, what do you see being the future for the med spa industry as far as new services? Do you already know about, do you go to any of these conferences or in the loop of like what's coming and, obviously things evolve.
Right. Peptides are really big right now. So there's a lot of people doing the peptide therapy and, most of those are IV therapy.
Okay.
Which, back to your question, I don't think I'm going to bring on any kind of IV therapy.
Like vitamins.
But those are great too. And so, peptides and all of those things are, what a lot of people are doing now that can help just infuse internally vitamins, all the things that we need that are also internally anti-aging.
Yeah.
So those are helpful too.
Some cell reproduction or something.
Yeah. I mean, going forward, as far as the future for my business, I just would love to have a few staff members. Right now I'm solo entrepreneur. So, that's been hard just being by myself, but getting close to being able to bring on some people and hopefully in the next few years grow to maybe even a bigger business.
Oh yeah, I love that. I mean, the med spa industry is definitely not going anywhere but up. So you definitely got the gold stamp on what you're not only connecting, and I think a lot of this too. When you said earlier about my creativity was building up until I found a space to let it go in. I always say on this podcast, it's like when you fall in alignment, that is where everything kind of clicks in and, unravels to become your authentic self.
I believe it.
And I think that's what was kind of happening.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some fun stuff here. So, being a successful business owner, and I know you just came back from, and then you mentioned earlier, take some time to reset and a lovely vacation. But what do you do on your days off? You've, built this business and grind, and time off and vacation. So,
on my time off, I just like to ground.
Okay.
Grounding is huge for me. Taking time to do things, even in quiet time, private meditation, spending time outside is huge for me.
Okay.
I don't like to be confined to indoor spaces all the time. So even in the middle of the day, I like to go outside on my patio, sit out there and have some tea or some coffee and, just the peace of the elements outside, that brings me joy. So I like being outside and listening to, I know it sounds crazy, listening to the birds and
peaceful nature by yourself, being outdoor.
It's what connects me and resets me, being in the water, swimming, things like that. So it's important. It's a huge part of me being able to give you all that I can. And if I'm tapped out and if we're tapped out, we don't have anything else to give.
You have nothing to give. So are you juiced up and ready to go?
I am. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Okay. Now, living in Buda, and like I said, we go there often and visit and events and everything. And again, it's not that far. What are your favorite restaurants and spots and things to do in Buda when you're...
So my favorite restaurant, I think right now would have to be Taste.
Yes.
Taste on Main. They do an exceptional job with everything there. The service is amazing. 10 out of 10. And their other location, if a lot of people don't know. Yeah. And so they're
tell me.
Why did I go blank? It's
I just went
Hayes City Store.
Okay.
So that's the original spot. If you're going out to Wimberley.
All right.
Hayes City Store. And it was a grocery store.
Oh, wow.
It's got outdoor, indoor. They've got live music. And so the owners of that business have Taste on Main, and it's amazing.
The service, the food, the ambiance, the everything. I think we went there for, was it my birthday?
Yeah.
After your event? Yeah.
So that's our fine dining in Buda.
Yeah. Great spot. Any others?
Yeah, there's a few others. There's Coco, if you want
Oh,
some
yeah,
Mexican
yeah.
food. Dos Olivos. There's also one in Wimberley. That's your wine bar.
That's where me and Jason had not our first date, but one of our
Nice.
very few first dates.
Love that.
And we went there and did a wine tasting, and we've been there for a handful of like bigger life events with friends.
Yeah, it's a great place too.
That place has a special space in my heart for sure. Love that spot. Now, as I mentioned before, we had Snowy on, our dear friend. Now, I know we're both lovers of astrology, tarot, sage. I have your sage and crystal packet thing here in my house. How are you introduced to that? And how would you say that? Why are you a lover of that? And how has it impacted your life?
Wow. Let's see. Where does that even go back?
Yeah.
I think
and you said your sign is water, but what was it?
I'm a Scorpio. Gemini rising, Capricorn moon.
There you go. You know it all. You're that kind of, you're that girly.
But I mean,
somebody's into it when they go further down outside. That's like, baby girl, I just asked for your sun sign. And then they go, no, I got the water, I got the rising, I got the moon, I got the this. And yeah.
Yeah. But as a child, I was a rock hound. Do you know what that is?
No.
A rock hound. I collected rocks.
Oh, okay.
And if I found a rock,
why a hound?
Rock hound.
But
like
why?
You
found
that's
a hound.
What they're called,
okay.
a rock hound.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably an old word.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I just used to collect rocks and seashells and all these things, and I loved the shiny, quartzy, pretty ones too. And I don't know where I got into crystals or where it came from, but I do remember just being fascinated with all of those things at a young age. And then it just kind of evolved, and I started diving deeper into spirituality. And, we had a ceremony in Tulum.
Now? The on your vacation? Oh, I want to go to one of those so bad.
I forget how many years ago. We renewed our vows.
Okay.
And I thought it would be nice to have a Mayan ceremony.
Yeah, I've seen them.
So I didn't know much about it or what was going to happen and what entailed, but they did this ceremony for us where they cleansed us with copal, and it was this cleaning of incense and all the things, and connecting us together. And the way that it was done was just it just resonated with me, and it was so spiritual. But one of the things that happened to us was before they brought us together, even though we were married, before they reconnected us, they asked if they could cleanse us individually. And when they did that, the shaman told us some things that no one could have ever known about, about like parents and ancestors. And one of the things that he said to me was, you have a gift and you need to reconnect somehow with your ancestry. And then I went back thinking about my grandmother. I come from, a Hispanic family. My grandmother's from Mexico. As a child, there was things that she used to do, and all of these kind of like, woo-woo, everybody's calling it the woo-woo things when we were growing up. But a lot of these things come from the ancestral roots.
They've been there.
Mexican Indians, there's
my native side knows.
There's a cure for this. There's a this for that. Take this tea, do that, put this rock, put this thread, like all the things. And so I just became kind of like more and more curious about it, and just started diving deeper into all the things. And they all use different instruments, different tools, different, herbs, things like that for all these ceremonial things, right? That I think...
Did you do ayahuasca?
I've never done that. No. I would try it,
Me
but
too.
I've never done it.
Sorry, I had to ask that.
No, I've never done it. But anyway, I just feel like they all serve a purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
And I just love kind of just dabbling in all of that.
Yeah, I found, so obviously I'm kind of on a similar situation, similar journey growing up, Native American in the past, etc. But just kind of getting deeper into it now as I've gotten older and more recently. But what was been very special that I think that would be like a thing that I would love for people to realize is it's not just beyond your daily horoscope, right? Like I've learned to infuse it into not just my daily practice, but my relationships and business, and when to make certain moves and do this and do that. So super beneficial. I know you're like, into that. So I just was wondering how that's played out in your life as well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, think about the Farmer's Almanac. Have you looked at one?
No.
So the Farmer's Almanac, you can pick them up at your, I don't know, like old, like we don't have like little stores on the corner that have them, but Google it. Look up a Farmer's Almanac. So the Farmer's Almanac tells the farmers when to do their crops, when to plant, when to do all these things based on the moon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so there you go.
Back in the day, the farmers just
that's the thing. It's not really woo-woo now because we just haven't done it. It was actual old knowledge that people were doing and using. And
we
now
just kind of separated from it somewhere, right?
Right,
I mean, they've been doing this since the beginning of time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, what advice would you get a little bit into little bit deeper stuff here? So what advice would you give an entrepreneur who is considering opening their own business? And kind of like, you might answer in this, like what was the hardest part and what was the most rewarding?
Okay. So the hardest part, I think, for me was being solo, doing it on my own.
And you mean in like no investors, no this, no that, right?
Like you're just
no taking
partnership.
The whole,
just single person.
Because it's a big thing.
Yeah, you're the one just kind of, doing all the things. Obviously, the more money you have, the more people you can get to help you.
Right.
But doing it on a super budget, you take on a lot of these things in your own.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot to do. It's doable. But I think the most important thing is asking for help when you need it, not being afraid to ask for help when you need it. And that's kind of like, that I would say definitely, somebody that's going to help you, or you can find somebody to tackle on this job or that job. Doing that, I think, is going to be probably the best thing. But also just talking to people who've done it before, who have owned a business, opened a business, and even in your industry, just getting, ideas, recommendations, and stuff like that. Yeah. That's helpful.
Did you have any like big fears going in? I mean, you say like starting your own company, brick and mortar, like that's heavy. Like a lot of people want that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would love to. I would love to own a med spa. I love doing, it's not that this is like, makeup and looking good and Botox and things and that. And like,
I've never wanted to do this on my own.
Okay.
I kind of felt like the way that things were happening
led up to
me doing this on my own.
Yeah.
Just not being happy in the industry that I've been in so long, seeing the way that things were done and me wanting to do them
and doing your way. You know what's crazy about that is, as you know, I started my own business a few months ago. And that is exactly like verbatim is how I felt and feel and why I did what I did. I just texted a friend earlier today. I said, if you would have told me I started they're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. And
I've heard a lot of that.
And you're like, I don't know if I would have done this, but it's everything that has led you up to what you a decade of doing it. Then you're like, I don't like this. I don't like that. I want to do it this way. I could do it that way.
And this is where my passion is. And this is my livelihood. And I love doing this. It is what, I think about it when I go to bed. I think about it when I wake up. Like I love what I do so much.
It shows
that once I start to not enjoy it anymore, then there's something wrong.
Right.
Like we've got to change this.
Right.
Something has to happen. And that's what led up to me doing this.
Oh, I love that. Okay. And then what is there anything you would change or do differently through your experience now and where you're at now? Like, now that I've kind of went through this, just as like words of advice to people out there, that would like to.
Doing differently. I guess sometimes just getting out of your own way.
Yes.
Like I'm a perfectionist.
That's a huge one.
I'm a perfectionist and letting people help and getting out of my own way and asking for help when I need it. I thought I could do every single thing, but you know what? You're one person.
And patience, right? Patience was huge, I would say,
Yeah.
through that process. Okay. And then you mentioned earlier you have an event coming up. Is there anything before we close that you can mention, or things that are up and coming, or for members to look forward to?
Up and coming, just expanding on the events, and I just want things to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that looks like, we're not going to be closed-minded of what type of events we are going to have. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out going forward what we can do to keep the momentum going.
It sounds like you're open to collaboration too.
Yeah,
so if you're
collabing.
interested in collaborating with you, I'm sure you'll talk about it at the end, but email you, get in touch with you, brainstorm.
We have a great space inside and out.
Yes, AC's running. That's good in this Texas heat. Well, before we end, and I have you do your self promotions, as you know, on Keeping Austin Queered, we like to do a yes queen and a girl bye. And then again, that could be particular to your business or personal. If you have one, great. If you don't, no worries. But do you have a yes queen and a bye girl?
I guess my bye girl would be, I am done caring what everybody else thinks. Like, I'm done with that. Like, I want to be
that.
I want to be able to be me, and that's what this is about. The Siren Beauty and Wellness is me, and all me, the authentic me.
Yes.
And if people don't like that, well, there's other places too.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is who I am, and maybe it's a little different than your traditional med spas. There's a lot of things that maybe might not appeal to every person, but that's okay.
I honestly don't see what the appeal wouldn't be. It's gorgeous. It smells good. You have a clean bathroom. You have all the services, boutique, this, that, and the other. It's like you feel it. So if you haven't been there, honestly, you guys, go. I'm always posting my stories and services on there as well. So definitely check it out. It's honestly, you'll see what I'm saying. And then what about your yes queen?
My yes queen is, I feel like I have transitioned into, getting older, all the stages that you go through when you're growing, family, children, husband, marriage. This is me stepping into my era of me.
Heck yeah. Aw. And that must feel so good.
It does. It feels amazing.
Yeah. And again, you support so many people, and you support other women, LGBTQ plus community. And, it really, I just want to let you know, it really shows, it really resonates. Whether, people tell you, don't tell you, I am proud of you. And thanks, I love all the things that you're doing and continue to do, and with your wellness, and not just what you look like outside, but inside, and the collaboration. So you're doing great things.
Thank
and
you.
Keep going, keep shining, and keep being proud of your passion.
Thank
because
you.
Ultimately that's what it is. You're proud of your passion. And we, again, like I said, there's always not everybody likes everything.
Sure.
So who cares? Don't worry about them.
Totally.
Forget the haters. Just keep staying in your lane, and keep moving, and surround yourself with people that pick up your energy and give it back.
Being true to me is really what I'm focused on.
Yeah. Well, here's a little spotlight of your business. So let everyone know, of course, specifically where you're located, parking, hours of operation, social media, promotions, whatever you want to say, let them know.
Okay. So we're Siren Beauty and Wellness. We are in the heart of Buda, Texas, right off of Main Street. It is the historic district. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I do after hours and before hour appointments and weekends by request. And so, and then events happen kind of periodically, monthly. We post those on Instagram, which is, at Siren Beauty and Wellness, and on Facebook, Siren and Beauty and Wellness, and on TikTok, Siren Beauty and Wellness.
As it should be.
I was able to get all the names.
Wow. Congrats on that too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. Well, again, I love you so much. Thanks for spending time with us and hosting this spotlight.
Thank
so
you
can have Keep doing what you're doing. Making people beautiful here in Austin and beautiful from the outside inward. And that's it, you guys. Thanks again for being an extension to this. And have a great day. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to keep Austin queered.